Welcome back to Sawmill. My name is Bill. It's Pirate Solutions Forestry. I don't know how these videos are going to shake out. I think I hyperlapsed through that little small white oak 4x4. I might do some of that on this log. I'm not sure. I'm starting to play around with that in editing. So we will see. We'll see if you even see me say this. Not sure. But I got a decent little white oak up on the mill here. I'm going to try to get an 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 cant so I can blow it into 4x4s. That's going to get us out near 7/8 out of the 10 that we need. And then I've got a couple more logs over there, but I just want to get these out of the way. Let's get into the video. So see here, it's about a 14-inch log. We're not going to have any problem getting this into an 8x8. 12 inch on the small end yields 9.6. So we're not going to have any problem getting it into an 8x8 can. The issue is going to be is if the log's sound and it can yield 4 sound 4x4s. That's all my concern is right now. So this is about, top cut's going to be around 14. Yeah, looks like 14 is going to be where it's going to be. So all right, so let's see what we got. Really not a very good top cut. If you guys are newer at this, one thing, if you're trying to get to an 8x8 can or something like that, to keep things simple for yourself, start your cuts on the 8th, and so you can drop inches, get 7/8 flitches. So we're gonna want to get to, like, probably based on what I'm seeing, like 12 1/8 on this side. But if I put myself on 8th marks, then I can just drop on inches and I get usable flitches, and I won't forget later and end up having to take a sliver off to get to that 8 1/8. Not that it really matters right now at this point, it matters later. I'm gonna go 12 1/2. Give myself a little more blade support and pay attention to that on this log. Yeah, I'm glad I took that edge. I almost wish I had just gone straight to 12. I do have a little bit of a little hump coming out of a knot right here. There's nothing good in that. I think we'll flip it over. I'm not really wide enough here. Could take this right to 11 1/2 right now. You know what? No, I'm not. If I have to roll it more later, so be it. I got to get this. Let's get this dirty bark off this log. Before I screw myself here, I'm going to see if I can get this bottom pushed in. Look. Yep. I'm over-rotating a hair. What if I can back it up? Oh, good. perfect right now. Nice and square right now. This log is a funky shape too. It's nice and flat too. I'm going to go ahead and take the top off and get this thing over. So at like 16, probably drop to 15. Still needs it, so let's do it. It's a false 15, just so that you know. It's not really 15, it's false because the far side's up in the air. Okay, we gotta get it flipped on its side. This is gonna be a challenging flip, I can tell. We're gonna turn it to do it. Oh, no, it's gonna flip like cake. That was good. All right, let's come down and see what we're going to do now. Shut that thing off while I'm doing this. I do like to run, I don't know, it's kind of a preference for me, but I do like to run my machines out of fuel. Looks really flat. Question is, do I always want to come to 11? That's not bad. I'm going to take it right there. So I'm out at 11 now, which means that I blew my 12 by 12, which there was no possible way we were going to get a 12 by 12. We're starting to get flat here. That was actually not a bad cut at all. Let's see if I got my 8 here. Yeah, I do, except for one piece of wane right here. It's going to be close. This isn't going to yield. This isn't going to yield a great 8 by 8. It's not. There's not enough room because I would have to come up. Well, maybe this. I got room in this dimension. If I come to 10 right now, it's the only way to save this side. I'm going to come to 10. Take a flitch. So I cut fairly flat on that pass. I don't like that for some reason. That gives me 2 inches to take off the other side. Actually, we'll go 10 and an 8. Now the 8s matter. One of the reasons why I like to run my machines out of fuel is you guarantee that you get all your water out of there. Wow, that went crazy ripply. All right, we're going to clean up the other side, and we're probably going to have to do a band change. That went crazy ripply there. Not that it matters on 4x4 fence posts, but it matters overall. All right, see if we can get this side cleaned up, and then we'll go. Then we can do a band change. So I have to clean this side up in stages because there's this big chunk hanging off up here. So let's take this chunk off first. All right, so I do have a little limb here that's got some punky wood on top. I was going to start spinning it and shave into that 8 1/8. I'm at 10 1/8 and 10 1/8 right now. I am just going to go ahead and take this to 9 1/8. Then I'll start spinning it down. Take some off the side. See what that other side looks like before I spin and take something sound off. Yeah, it's more punky over here. So I think a combination between coming down this way and coming down this way is going to help. So we're just going to go to 9 1/8, take it off. I'm shooting for 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. Now we're going to start spinning it. We'll spin it up, shave its side, spin it again, shave a side. Should just be 2 more cuts, then we'll cut it in half 2 directions. All right, we'll come to 9 1/8 in this dimension. And a nail. Oh my God, it was a 1/2 inch in the log. So I got to pull it out. I got to change bands again. And just like that, we have a new band on. You think of how close that was to saving a perfectly sharp band. If I had just made that cut with that other band was already dull. Now I didn't knock. A good thing is didn't knock any teeth off it. It was a big nail. But it didn't knock any teeth off it, so that one can be sharpened. What I got going on here is I've got a little sapwood here and a little sapwood here. So I'm going to take this to 8 1/8, flip it on its side, cut this side down, I think, to 8 1/8. Yep. So I'm going to make 2 cuts at 8 1/8. I can actually cut this to 8 1/8, take that piece off, drop down to 4, cut it, flip it up, make a cut at 8 1/8, drop down to 4 and cut it, and I'm done. So let's go ahead and fire through it again. Hopefully there's no more metal down there. So it was right in the end of the log. It was within an inch of the end of the log. All right, let's take it right there. Now I'm going to want to drop down to 4, cut it right in half. Get our board out of the way here. We'll flip it up on its side. Cut it to 8 1/8 and then cut it in half. Okay, we come to 8 1/8. Just going to release the clamp again and see if that took some tension out of the log. All right, let's cut it in half. One thing about having the toe boards that's cool is I can pick my pants. Oh, it's gonna fall off. I can pick my pants up, be able to grab them with the bobcat. Gives me nice clearance to get under it. All right, get these two little boards out of the way. Four more white oak 4x4's. I think that gets me to 7/8. 7 and 1, that's so I'm going to try to do kind of the same thing with the next log, is try to get 4 of them out of it if I can. We'll have to see. It's a weird shape log, so I'll show you over here what's going on. Yeah, I won't get 4 out of this one. So I got this one here, and I've got the one behind it. The one behind it's got a big crotch on it, but I'm going to cut it off. And then these little ones here are all going to be for their ramps, the 8x8 and 6x8 4-foot long ramps with the angle on them. So that's going to get cut up next. So this is the next log up. I'll get all this stuff put away. And so if I had to be critical of myself, I did end up leaving a little bit of sapwood on there. There wasn't a real good way around it. But the rest of them, are all heart and perfect for fence posts for a horse farm. So that's it for now. We'll see if I video some more. But I brought down a couple more white oaks. I'm almost out of white oak, to be honest with you. And I think the one that I have up on the mill right now should make 4 4x4's. And I have another small one here that I can get 1 or 2 out of Then I have another one over here that I might be able to get 4 out of. It would be close. So I only need really 3 more. I want to cut them at least 4 more, and I'll show you why. So this one outside right here that I would use, it's black locust. Those 3 are black locust. That one outside right there has got some a spot in the middle of it where it's not flat. Now I would just put that on the side and use it because it's a beautiful 4x4. And then there is some bug damage in the end of a couple of these, but they're long. So I just measured them out and that bug damage is going to come out. So this one right here is not the greatest one on the face of the planet. It's got a little bit of softwood on it, but it's not too bad. For a 4x4 fence post, I think it would be fine, but I want to make sure that I at least give them an extra one. So we got this one up on the mill right now, and I'm going to go to town on this one. I am not going to read you out all the dimensions on it. It's just, I find that silly. I've kind of got it in the orientation that I think is the flattest. There's not much dirt on it. I think this band will survive. And what we're going to do is we're going to start taking it apart. And we'll try to get the flat on the top, flip it over. It's kind of a weird shape. So right now it's horns up. And also there's a crotch in the end that's on a diagonal. I've got it cut long. I've got it cut over 9 feet. So I think this orientation seems to make the most sense. We're going to take the top off it, get it flipped over as quick as we can, skim the other side, and see if we can fight our way into 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. That's our goal. So let's get at it. I know that I think this end right here, the top of the log is at 15. So we want to kind of try to make our top cut about there. That might miss here. So I think it's going to end up having to come down to 14. I'm just going to take it at 14. I think 14 might miss here. The other side, though, is bowed down, so that's good. Let's just see if we can take it at 14. It's going to look like a heavy cut in the beginning, but it's not. It's going to be taking about 3 inches off the top of this log over here. But it's this crotch that's the problem. So let's just go ahead and see what happens. Yeah, I'm already out of the wood. And I'm missing here too. Am I at 14? Yeah. This is going to be close. This log is going to be close, I think. Get some of these off to the side. So I got to come to at least. Now I'm going to say I'm going to have to come to 12. I'm missing this by a full inch. I'm going to come right straight to 12. Take it there. Still got to keep in mind that it's fat the other way. So, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But that's what our goal is right now. I don't see any good way about it. So I'm going to have to be careful with this log a little bit. I'm still not hitting here. And I'm at 12 and I'm getting thin down there. It's just a really junk log. I can flip it right now and see what happens. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to leave it though. To come to 11. Not leaving myself a whole lot to work with down here. Keeping in mind that it's long. Oh yeah. We're going on a wing and a prayer on this one right now. It's going to be close. Shit. What I'm hoping is I can get an 8x8 about right here. If I can't get one on the end, about right here is fine. I'll get 8x8 all the way down there, no problem. That looks pretty good. Just trying to skim the top off it. Looks fairly flat too. So I want to come down until I get 8 inches wide here at least. It's at least another cut. Right now I'm at 13 and a half. It'll come to 12 and a half. I just want to make sure I'm at least 8 inches wide here. Right now I'm 7. I got to come down again. I got plenty of wood underneath it. I think there's plenty of wood here. So I think it's pretty close. I think we can do it. I'd love to know where I just was. I think I came down to 11 and a half. So I was at 12 and a half. All right, let's come to 11 and a half. A little support. So we're going to roll it on its side. Take the top off it, trying to stay away from 8 1/8. Okay, let's come down and see where we're at there. Hopefully it's something like 10. Nope, it's not. Shit. Yeah, it's going to be really close, guys. Damn it. I'm going to take it at 9 1/8. I think it's going to end up coming at 8 1/8, to be honest with you. Yep. That's the bulge up side. I'm going to come to 8 1/8. Take it right off. Then we'll have to do the rest of it on the sides. It might clean up at 8 1/8. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad. We're going to get this board off and we're going to take it right in half at 4. It's not going to be that bad. There's going to be a teeny little bit of weighing down the bottom down here. I'm going to have a whole shit pile of boards to clean up too. That easy. Yep, 8 1/8. All right, I'm going to flip it up. No, I'm going to cut it right in half at 4 right now. Sure the clamp's not higher than that. I'm going to clear by 3/4 of an inch. I got to get my log cutter down. Come right to 4. Yeah, looks okay. Let's flip it up. See where this wane is here. So I'm going to take it at 9 1/8 and then 8 1/8. And then we're going to cut it in half and we'll be done. Good firewood here. Just take it at 8 1/8 and then 4 and have some more 4x4s. Pull them over and get them up on the, before I shut off, get them up on the tow board so I can pick them up and grab them off of here. Oops. Looks like I'm going 3 wide. I'll dump them on the pile. You got a lot of white oak 1x4s, I'll tell you that. And that's it. Got a little bit of sapwood here, a little bit of sapwood here. Other than that, they're pretty sound. That's why I got to give them a couple of extras. Other than that, they're all nice heartwood. Just seems like every time I freaking do something, it's got to be like thought through. That, you know, my only other option is to just cut tons and tons and tons of logs. But the problem with cutting tons of logs is I end up with tons of flitches and tons of waste and tons of stuff that I got to move down the road. And it's just not the best way to go about it. You want to kind of get the most out of the log that you possibly can. So that's what we're trying to do here on every log. Seems kind of fruitless sometimes, but at least we didn't hit metal in it. And it's 4 more. That gets us to 8. That gets us to 12 total. So we're looking pretty good. I'm definitely going to cut that other small log. Probably do it tomorrow. I'm just kind of dragging right now. Into probably one 4x4. I don't think I can get 2 out of it. You don't have to get an 8-inch cant. It's one thing. Let me show you something. One thing that's a little bit of a misunderstood is on a log like this right here. If it won't yield an 8-inch cant, that doesn't mean that I can't get more than one 4x4 out of it. Because if I can get 8 inches wide right here by 4 inches wide, which is pretty close to doable, I can get 2 out of it. I can get 1 here and 1 here. So you kind of want to take your highest dimension, and so 8 inches right now is from here to here. And at that 8, I've definitely got 4, and I've definitely got 4 over here. So I can cut this so I can get a chunk out of the middle. The only problem with that is you got to kind of, it'd be okay for a post, but you're including the pith, where, you know, in a perfect world, you would want to box this and take it out. But for when you're just talking about fence posts around a horse farm, there's no problem with leaving that in. Now, I wouldn't want it as a knurl post on a stairway, on a staircase. I would want to get the heart out of there. But so the way that this is going to work out, I can't cut the heart out this way because it gets me too close to the edge. I can't really do it the other way. Because this is off center, the only way I'm going to get 2 4x4s out of here is to leave that pith in one of them. So this one should finish up the whole thing. It's going to finish it up one way or another. Either I'm going to get 2 out of it and we're going to go that way, or I'm going to get 1 out of it and it's still going to be done. So that's pretty much it. So I think in summation today, I got a little more done than I thought I was going to do, just because of how sick and hurting I am. But we definitely made a dent in it. So do I think that we can just cut that one more log and be done? Maybe. I got to measure it too, because here's another thing. If you look at that log, It's nice and straight all the way down there and consistent, and then it crooks off at the end. Hopefully that crooks past 8 feet and I can cut it off and end up with a really nice straight telephone pole that I can try to get into two 4x4s. So it's another thing you got to think about. Either that or you just go to town and just keep cutting logs and cutting logs and cutting logs and cutting logs and cutting logs, and you'll end up with shit all over the place like I am now that I've got to deal with. So I'll be going on a pretty heavy Facebook marketplace selling spree pretty soon. Now that I think the weather's finally starting to break. It's probably 40 today. We're going to have some 40s in the next couple weeks. I've got to go around the mill yard and I've got to pull all my little stupid stacks. I've got to edge everything, get it all into boards and bundle them all into Facebook marketplace bundles where you're selling them for like $5 a board and just saying, hey, there's 4 of them here, bring me $20. You can have all 4 of these black oak 1x6s at 12 feet long, like the pile that I'm looking at over here. And people for $5 a board will come get it. The problem is you got to get it out the door. You're going to end up chipping it all. Unless you have a big, huge building to store it in and you can store and stack the crap out of it. This is one of the reasons why I'm only cutting for customers right now and not cutting any stock. But I got to start blowing some of the extras out of here. And Facebook Marketplace is the best place to do it. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Hopefully I'm going to feel better tomorrow. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It's starting to beat me down a little bit, but at least we're editing the videos. That's kind of cool. And I'm getting better at it, and I'm watching videos on doing it, and hopefully someday I'll be like a champion at it. But we got through, I don't know, how many logs we do today? 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 4 logs today, I think. We did 2. No, we did 1 with 1. No, we did 3 logs. 3 logs. Yeah, it's only 3. So I'm going to put everything away, blow the mill out, just go fasten it down. We're not looking at any rain till Thursdays, and call it a day and get back out here tomorrow, work on some more tomorrow, because I got to get set up for doing these short logs, these short fat logs for these ramps. And I'm going to have to get all my locust out of here and start getting this area cleaned up. So appreciate the watch as always. Hit me up with any questions, like, share, subscribe if you like the way I think through stuff. If you have any suggestions, please throw it in. And for now, it's Power Solutions out. All right, got to cut one more white oak log. And this one's a wicked border. I want to try to get a 4-inch chunk out of the middle and take 2 4x4s out of it. I don't have a lot of room. This might only end up being 1, but I'm going to try. So I have to make my top cut at 9 1/8. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to cut it at 8 1/8. I kind of mapped this out. Along the fattest side here where I have the most room. So make my top cut at 9 1/8. We're going to flip it over, we'll cut it at 8 1/8. We're going to see how much sapwood we have on that and see if it's even possible. And if it's not possible, then we'll just cut it into 1 4x4. But I think it's going to be really close. So if I was cutting these 3.5, these 4x4s, if I was cutting them at 3.5, I'd have plenty of wood here to do it. It's crashing to my level. All right, Kind of hopeful right now. We're gonna find out. I think I'm gonna get my clamp out of the way and just clamp it with this, do it manual. I'll probably turn it with. Might as well get the practice in while I'm here. All right, let's take it at 8 and 8. Yeah, I'll tell you. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be sapwood on it, but not a lot. All right, roll it, square it up. Let's take it at 9. This dimension's going to have to come down quite a bit. And we don't want to lose sight of the fact that we can use this dimension to take some of the sapwood off. Let's come to 8. Stop, turn my water on. Let's get these boards out of the way for now. Let's flip it over. I want to get this one at might as well just take it at 5. Let's take it right at 5. Oh, I'm feeling better about it. I'm gonna flip it over and take it to 6. I mean to 4. Then we'll take a look at it and see if it's doable. Let's cut it at 4. My water's missing. No, I think we got it, boys and girls. There's barely any softwood on it. I think we got it. Yeah. Yeah, flip it up and cut it at 4. That's awesome. Well, let's cut it at 4. I think that worked out perfect. A little touchy here. A little bit of a blue. Oh, man. Oh, no. Got one good one and one boomerang. Oh, shoot. Shoot. That stinks. That stinks. So hopefully, yeah, 4, 4. Gosh darn it. The bottom one ended up, it bowed up a little bit in the middle. So the bottom one's a little bit like this and this one's like this. And what I'll do is I'll put them up where they're dry and dry them frown down, see if some of the moisture will come out the other side of it. So what you got, the reason that happens is you really dry out here near the edge of the log and you're really wet in here in the middle of the log. This side's shrunk because the cells are pulling in on each other. That's why it bowed up like that. If you can dry this out a little bit on this side, that will settle down quite a bit. Will it take it all the way out? It might. You run into this a lot when you're making big panels. If you're doing big tops, like big countertops or tabletops and things like that, you'll have this perfectly flat tabletop sitting on a workbench or on an assembly table, and you'll flatten it and you'll sand it and everything, and then you'll come in the next morning and it'll be all cupped up like this, because when you sand it, it's starting to lose that moisture out of the top and it shrinks and it pulls it and it cups the whole project, and people go, holy crap, what am I going to do? Well, what we do is, as we go through the finishing process, sometimes it can take a week or 2 weeks. Every day I'll flip it over. So you want to flip it so it's frowny face, not smiley face. If you flip it so it's frowny face and that's down, you're going to lose more moisture out of the other top, and those cells will shrink and it will settle back down. So if it's cupped like this, you flip it frown down, and then usually the next morning or maybe even 2 days, if it's real persistent, I'll just leave it like that for a couple days and do all my finish work on the other side. And then you can flip it back over. So a lot of times on a big countertop, I'll flip them back and forth several times, and that panel usually will end up really flat as the moisture equalizes. So that's what's going on here. That does kind of stink that ended up so bowed. It's probably with the sapwood on the end there, which I would put in the ground if it was my post. It probably will end up being fine up here, and that bow doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad for a fence post. It can go in the ground and you're going to plumb it and it's going to look straight. It's just going to have a little bit of curve to it one way or the other. But that can curve into the ground, so you can still end up with a real straight. When you think about just a little 4-foot section sticking up and 4 feet in the ground, that little 4-foot section is still going to be pretty straight. So I'm going to throw these up. I'm actually going to let the customer know that they're done. And he works all week, so we probably won't pick them up until the weekend. So they're going to have a couple of days sitting out here kind of shock drying. I will guarantee that bow and that will come out. At least 99% of it. It might still end up being a little bit bowed, but as this thing just hyper loses moisture right now, it's in pretty old log too. As it hyper loses moisture out of that inside, up here as the wind's hitting it and the sun and everything else, that thing is going to settle the other way. So if you ever see people telling you to put it frown down, it's not gravity. Gravity helps, but that's not why. You want to dry out the other side so the cells shrink, and it will pull the board the other way. So that's what's going on. We'll see how this video edits out, making it separate from the mystery log. Not sure if I have a beginning and an ending of it yet. I'll probably have to, maybe I just won't shoot an intro, and I think I'll do some hyperspace stuff on it, and you guys just let me know what you think of the video quality and all that. That's my most important thing right now, is improving the videos and making them better and better and better. So I'm still under the weather, still sick. My ribs are healing. They're sore to the touch, but I got good mobility, and I'm just going to keep getting at it. So me and Danny appreciate the watch as always, and for now, Pirate Solutions out.